It's wild how one party invitation, or the lack of it, can flip the entire celebrity landscape upside down. But that's exactly what just happened. And no, this isn't your average red carpet drama. This is a Hollywood royal crossover moment that's got everyone talking. Because when Taylor Swift, arguably the biggest pop star on the planet, sent out her wedding invitations, one name was noticeably missing: Meghan Markle. And right there in bold calligraphy gold lettering, Princess Kate. Now, let's not pretend Meghan's been living quietly. Since stepping back from royal duties, she's been grinding to build her own brand. Netflix series, Spotify deals, magazine covers, she's done it all. The idea was to become untouchable, a powerhouse in both the palace and the Hollywood machine. But the game of influence doesn't care about past glory. It cares about perception, and perception just crowned a new queen. So here's what went down. Meghan was gearing up for a big win. Her Netflix series was launching its second season. But just as her team was prepping the press cycle, boom, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's engagement hits the internet like an earthquake. And it's not just the engagement, it's the guest list that followed. Leaks started pouring out. Jeff Bezos? Invited. Kim Kardashian? She's in. Beyonce? Obviously. And right there, to everyone's surprise, Princess Kate. Not a maybe, not a whisper. A confirmed guest. No mention of Meghan. Now, for anyone who's followed this saga, you already know Kate and Meghan aren't exactly baking cupcakes together. Their tension has been simmering for years. But this snub hits different, because this isn't a royal event. This is Taylor Swift's personal celebration. The ultimate blend of music, fame, elegance, and global relevance. To be left out isn't just missing a party, it's a social shutdown. A message broadcast louder than a press release. And the internet felt it immediately. Swifties started dissecting the move. Royal watchers posted think pieces before dessert was even served. Why Kate and not Meghan? The answers came fast, and they cut deep. Taylor's brand has always been polished, strategic. She's not just a singer, she's a curator of culture. Every move she makes is planned, down to the lighting in her Instagram selfies. So when she chose Kate, people saw it as more than a preference. They saw it as a positioning move, a declaration. Kate is elegance, calm, and drama-free. Meghan, as many critics point out, comes with headlines, controversy, and unpredictable press cycles. For Taylor, this was about protecting the vibe. And in doing so, she drew a clear line in the sand. Sources close to Meghan say she's livid. And honestly, who wouldn't be? Being overlooked in favor of the very woman you've been compared to and constantly rumored to be in conflict with is brutal, especially when it happens in the middle of your own media push. This wasn't supposed to be Taylor's day. It was supposed to be Meghan's. But now, she's not even in the frame. You've got to imagine what that feels like. One moment, you're the star of your own narrative. The next, you're watching someone else take your place in the spotlight. At an event that defines who's in and who's out in Hollywood's elite circle. Meghan's been trying to claw her way back into that upper tier, especially after her podcast faded and her Netflix content didn't make the splash her team hoped for. This wedding could have been the stage she needed to reset her image. Instead, she's watching it all unfold from the outside. And the world is watching her. Meghan's camp didn't waste any time trying to spin the situation. Whispers of prior commitments and creative focus started swirling around the prior circuits, but no one was buying it. You don't just skip Taylor Swift's wedding because you're busy editing a podcast episode. Especially not when your rival is front row with a flute of champagne and the spotlight you've been chasing for years. The silence from Meghan's side only made things louder. Every tabloid headline, every viral post, every reaction video, it all pointed to one truth. She wasn't on the list. And that list just redefined relevance. For someone who built a public image around breaking free from the constraints of monarchy to build something freer and realer in Hollywood, this was a hard pill to swallow. Meghan didn't want to be just another duchess. She wanted to be a symbol, a movement, a cultural force that sat at the same table as Oprah, Rihanna, and now Taylor. But when push came to shove, that table had limited seats, and the one with Meghan's name on it never got printed. Meanwhile, Princess Kate, she didn't have to campaign for a seat. She didn't have to drop a docuseries or do a tell-all to stay in the public eye. She just kept showing up in the way the world seems to love, polished, measured, and always a step removed from the noise. While Meghan's headlines scream and claw, Kate's image whispers power without saying a word. And that contrast? It hit like a brick this week. Taylor's team knows how to curate moments. This wedding isn't just about love, it's a brand summit. The guest list looks like a Fortune 500 directory mixed with an Oscar red carpet. Every photo that comes out of this event is going to circulate for months. And sitting quietly in the corner of every frame is going to be that decision, Kate, not Meghan. That choice tells a story about who fits the current Hollywood fairy tale and who's being edited out of the script. Insiders say Meghan saw it coming. She reportedly reached out through mutual contacts weeks ago, hoping for even a nod, maybe an invitation to a pre-wedding event or a private gathering. Nothing came back, just silence. That silence, when paired with the roar of Kate's inclusion, felt like a final verdict. Harry isn't spared either. Once the golden revel of the royal family, his clout has dimmed significantly. The novelty of stepping back has faded, and now, without palace backing or real wins in Hollywood, his presence feels more niche than notable. But unfortunately for Kate, her resolve was blown, and his absence from Taylor's event confirms that this isn't just about Meghan. It's about the fading power of their combined narrative. What stings most for Meghan is that she's always played the long game. She banked on outlasting the palace drama and emerging as the modern, relatable, global icon. But the Hollywood she was trying to court has evolved. It's no longer just about bold statements and breaking the mold. It's about consistency, subtlety, and choosing the right moments. And right now, she's not the one being chosen. That kind of rejection, especially when delivered this publicly, forces a rethink. Meghan's whole strategy was visibility. But if that visibility doesn't lead to inclusion, what does it actually achieve? You can't influence the narrative if you're not even in the room. And at this wedding, the cultural Super Bowl of the year, Meghan Markle isn't just missing, she's invisible. Speculation is already swirling about what Meghan's next move might be. She's never been the type to stay quiet when the narrative turns against her. Some insiders say she's already working on a major media pivot, something glossy, scripted, and designed to reclaim control. Maybe it's a new project that reframes her story. Or maybe it's another interview where she takes the gloves off. Whatever it is, you can bet it's being calculated behind the scenes with military precision. She knows the stakes now. This wasn't just a wedding snub, it was a public ranking, an unspoken hierarchy of who matters and who doesn't in the culture-defining circles she desperately wants to be part of. Taylor Swift's guest list was more than just who's hot and who's not. It was a reflection of who's trusted, who's adored, and who fits the fantasy. Meghan didn't make the cut, and in her world, that's war. The interesting part is how much Taylor's move has ripple effects far beyond the wedding. Other celebrities are watching, so are executives. Power players in Hollywood tend to move with the current, and if that current favors Kate and not Meghan, the offers, invites, and collaborations follow the same tide. The more high-profile figures align with Kate, the more Meghan's image becomes radioactive. Not because people hate her, but because they don't want the noise. That's the core of this shift. Meghan was once magnetic, a symbol of change, a disruptor in the best way. But the energy around her has shifted. Her brand of disruption now feels exhausting, not exciting. And when you're building a wedding guest list that includes royalty, billionaires, and media empires, exhaustion is the last thing you want near the table. Kate, on the other hand, benefits from her ability to disappear until it matters. She doesn't speak often, but when she does, it lands. She doesn't post selfies or sit on podcast panels, yet her image stays intact. That mystery, that discipline. It's something Hollywood finds valuable right now. Because in a world where everyone is oversharing, staying elegant and inaccessible is the new power move. Meghan could try to rebrand again, but it won't be easy. The audience she once captivated has grown skeptical. The media playbook she used so effectively in the beginning feels worn out. Sympathy has limits, and it fades fast when it starts to look like strategy instead of sincerity. If she goes loud with her next move, people will say she's bitter. If she goes quiet, they'll say she's defeated. There's no perfect response left, only calculated damage control. Meanwhile, Kate doesn't need to respond at all. Her presence at the wedding does all the talking. She doesn't have to clap back, post a story, or make a single comment. She just has to show up in a soft-colored gown, smile for the cameras, and let the headlines write themselves. That's the level of power Meghan craves, the kind where silence speaks louder than a tell-all. As Taylor's wedding inches closer and A-listers finalize their travel plans, the message is locked in. This is more than an event. It's a cultural milestone. And when the flashbulbs pop and the photos hit the front pages, there will be no trace of Meghan. That absence won't go unnoticed. It'll echo in every article, every reaction, every comparison. Because in this game of status, relevance isn't just about who you are, it's about who claims you. And when Taylor Swift chose Kate, she drew the line with a gold-plated pen. Meghan didn't just miss an invite, she missed the moment. And in the world she